Okay, so
Okay.
I think now it's recording. Perfect.
Okay. So, Quentin, thank you again for taking time out of your busy schedule and agreeing to do this. Really happy we can actually be doing this. And I mean, why don't we just start with you telling us a bit about yourself and your connection to tennis?
Okay, so I come from a very heavy background tennis where I've had the previous family generations also have tennis close to their heart. And at 12 years old, I was asked to go to the US to play professionally, but I chose education instead and stuck to my normal daily routine. But I've played competitively for a few years and then with time played less and less and taken part in other sports. So I'm definitely looking at a multi-aspect world of racket sports, but tennis is one of them that's beautiful and that I've kept close to my heart. So I've kept the competitive mindset, the resilience, spirits, and which is why now I'm working for a company like Fun with Balls, where we're trying to give a new aspect to tennis. I think it's a great
Right.
approach. So I'll be happy to tell you more, but that's a bit about myself. I'm French and I moved country every 3 years since born. So I've lived a bit all over the world, but now I'm
Wonderful.
currently in
Mm.
Spain and hopefully next month I'll be in Germany back at the office.
All right. So, I mean, so it was almost a no-brainer for you when, Fun with Balls came up with multi-ball, and then, that was something right down your alley. It seems like that.
Yeah. It's interesting. It's a new market we're approaching now. Multi-ball didn't come to existence due to tennis. It came to existence because of a mission of like changing the way we interact with sports, the way we play sports, and integrating technology and the digital world within it. So yeah, it did make sense for me for sure.
All right, wonderful. So maybe why don't you tell us a bit more about multi-ball and how it works, why it is formed, something like that for
Yeah.
all the viewers.
So it's a very hard product to describe. So that's why we like showing it instead of explaining it. But basically, multi-ball takes a new approach to sports. So instead of targeting the quantitative aspects of sports to improve the performance and the statistics, multi-ball truly looks at the quality of sports and how it is played. Because sure, we have all these tools to make sports more interesting in terms of getting better numbers, etc. But we've never really looked at it as a new concept. So multi-ball is basically a sports solution to the new digital age. So how we do it is we just make any wall or any space into an interactive play zone. So the multi-ball, just to explain you, is a metal frame that can be installed on any wall, and it uses projections and sensors from the metal frame inside to give real-time feedback so you can interact with it. So any wall like this wall, I just put a metal frame, my projector, and boom, I have a smart tennis wall for me at home with like 30 plus games.
Wonderful.
So it's really being used everywhere right now. Just to say, it's being used in schools, sports facilities, tennis clubs, even in airports, in hotels, and now since COVID, it's in houses because we want to make the product available to everyone. So the mission behind Multiball is really focusing on activating the sedentary lifestyles, which is not nowadays such a big issue in today's society.
Definitely, definitely. I mean, sounds like a very exciting product. I mean, I saw the video you sent me earlier, and I think that sort of gave me a brief explanation of how it works. And I was really, really excited, really fascinated by what I saw. So, also, how much does it cost approximately to set up one multi-ball facility? Like you said, any wall or any sort of open area, how much do you think it costs?
Yeah. So obviously, I'm not allowed to disclose specific price
Oh,
points, but we
definitely, yeah.
have
Mm.
we have three models. We have multi-ball home, multi-ball club, and multi-ball pro. So these are the generic metal frames, which range from 5 to 8K in euros. And then there's for those standard models, there's a license fee, a monthly license fee for game updates, 24/7 customer service, full use of the court analytics. So you have the application where you can see the statistics, everything else. Plenty of other beneficial features. And for example, right now we're launching a social distancing game and a coronavirus cure. So that's going to be interesting for our clients to, it plays out as a marketing ploy, telling people, hey, come solve Corona with Monster Mash. So that's approximately the ballpark price. And then we have other models, which are outdoors and LED panels. And these are a completely new price range, which are 60K plus.
Wonderful, wonderful. So, I mean, I'm guessing this is something that appeals more to the younger generation, right? Because what you've done here is probably the gamification of what we call conventional tennis, right? So, did you at any point face some sort of resistance from, say, purists of the sport, people who want to keep it conventional the way it is?
Yeah, of course. And this is a great question because it can be applied to almost anything, anything in life. But something we need to realize is that purists sooner or later will become irrelevant. It's just in humans' nature to adapt and evolve. So, things evolve, society evolves, and so does sports. And however, tennis hasn't evolved in the last 20 years. The technological changes have been new camera angles and maybe Hawkeye. These are the ones I can think of, but they don't evolve the sport like we need it to evolve in terms of attracting new audiences or increasing participation. It's not figuring out whether the ball touched the line or not that it's gonna get people into the sport. So these technologies are simply creating safer and better quality for the standard sports. But then we have sports like paddle, so the square tennis that is evolving, or football, where now there's 100 of new variations of football in today's world, which originated from the pure sport of football. So multi-ball is basically allowing tennis to explore a new digital experience with the same concept, racket and a ball hitting and creating this rally between partners. And it does it in a fun way, which is why our company is called Fun with Balls. And you get to choose whether you want to play singles with a partner, whatever it is. It's basically self-sufficient training tool. So it can be, we have clubs that use it for beginners, for intermediates, for advanced. It's really wide range. But as we say right now, we don't have too much resistance. It's more of in terms of exposure that we're seeking.
Okay, I mean, so from what you've explained to me, it sounds like there's a lot that multiball has to offer, right? In terms of the kind of services that it gives to the user. Like you said, there can be multiple games installed, or there can be analytics that the user can have access to. So along the same lines, do you think there is the possibility of multiball being used as a legitimate source of training for tennis pros in the future?
So in the future, for sure. Something I can tell you and disclose with you is that we are in communication with the USTA, so United States, and Roland Garros and Tennis England, the LTA. So we're finally in touch with these big tennis associations, but obviously federations are slow to get change in and to move forward with budgets. So once we have their backup and their financial power and their exposure, I think we'll be able to seek a more direct route into the professional sector. But for now, it's really targeting, like you said, the young generation, the fun aspect, the intermediates and beginners. But later on, it'll be able to be used for professional services in terms of precision, because every day our sensors are getting more and more accurate with better data, better management on the platforms. So these will be tools that coaches can use for their students instead of just visually seeing them, having them on an Excel sheet, on an app that they can access. So that's something that's moving forward.
Yeah, that's really important, because from my experience, sometimes when the coach has something to tell you, and he's not able to exactly explain to you why he feels that way. Sometimes I wonder, maybe if he had, maybe he was using statistics, or maybe he was using a sort of video to explain his point, maybe he would get through to me easier. So I think multi-ball would definitely help in that facet.
And
Yeah.
have you played with statistics considering your professional career?
No, I haven't ever used statistics, but at the moment, I'm currently, I'm currently in touch with with a few companies who provide a detailed statistical analysis for tennis players, like a sort of post-match analysis.
Hmm.
So sometimes when I'm writing or when I'm trying to analyze matches, I tap into these analysis sources, and for example, if I'm trying to highlight the degrees of separation in a match, for example, where the match was won and where the match was lost, I use certain diagrams, certain graphs, which better explain my point. For example, I'm trying to highlight how someone used slice effectively to nullify, a good first serve, and how that became an effective strategy throughout the game. And if I can show that with a diagram saying that he has, 100% of the first serve to the backhand has been received using the backhand slice, that adds more weight and value to my point. So I've seen how it is benefiting me, and I'm definitely sure that it's going to benefit the players and coaches and all the stakeholders in the tennis world as well.
And this is very much the professional tool. And right now with multi-ball, it's not really what we're looking forwards to, because that's a very statistical mindset where we're just making the good ones better, but we want to get the non-active one good, or like into the
Yeah.
sport. So that's the problem we face right now. It's not really about improving the statistics, it's about improving the sports, changing it up, making it more appealing to the global audience, because obviously multi-ball potential goes way beyond just being a training tool for tennis pros. It really is about getting everyone into the sport, looking at it from a different perspective.
Yeah, definitely makes sense. And I was going through your website and I noticed that you've been bestowed the award by the ATP. So I found that really exciting. I think it's the exciting startup award, something like that.
Yeah, so we have a few obviously, and as a startup, we're only 4 years old. We only launched multi-ball 2 years ago, because our first product was with squash, and
Yeah.
squash being a very traditional sport and filled with purists, we've been able to finally conquer it and partner with huge federations, where now we're evolving into the 21st century with a new concept for squash, and it's appealing the younger market, which you never think would happen for squash, but it is happening now. And
Yeah.
I'm happy that federations are able to recognize such movements, and award us with whatever it is, whatever we can get, we expose
Yeah.
it.
Well, that's wonderful. So, there's so much going for multi-ball, but what according to you is probably your biggest challenge at this particular point in time?
So the biggest challenge is exposure, 100%, because once we get people to see a video, we instantly get feedback. Obviously, we, like any other technology in the world, there's the barrier of price points, but that comes after people understanding the value. So first, we need truly for people to see the value in it, and just with a video, that's enough. And hopefully after, they're going to be able to experience it, which is why we're trying to build showrooms all over the world. We have partners in almost every country. So main country, not every country, because there are 200 countries. And we want them to build kind of an experience concept store where people can try it out, test out, because once you experience it, you truly understand the value behind it. But yes, it's obviously getting people in front of a system and testing it. That's the biggest challenge we face right now, and hopefully that's why we want to do these interviews with you, is so you can spread it to your communities, your network, and spreading the word
Yeah.
and the mission.
So, yeah, great point there. Because honestly, I remember when we were having our conversation, you sent me that video, and that's when you got my attention, right? And maybe if you just sent me an ordinary write-up of what it is that Multiball does, maybe I wouldn't be as intrigued as I would be having watched that video, because that tells me so much more about your product and how it works. So yeah, I mean, you're, I mean, spot on with the fact that exposure is something that's really important.
Almost every email I send has a video of the product, just so people are able to visualize it, because reading it is not possible. You can't understand the product by reading it. You have to see something. And then the
Yeah,
next step is experiencing it.
yeah. So Quentin, what is Multiball's maybe long-term vision at this point? What is it that you wish to achieve in the long term?
So we really want players and stakeholders, whether it's federations, clubs, and whether it's tennis or paddle, to come through and say and accept that this could be a solution to their facility, just like we did with squash. We've had clients who, bought one system, a year later they realized they broke even in 4 months, so they bought another system, and now they have three systems and they only have three squash courts. So we want that to be the same in maybe tennis centers, for example. Is one of the tennis centers we have in, for example, the United States, in Ohio, uses multi-ball as a reward system. So when the kids have had a good class or won something, they put them in front of the multi-ball, and then the kids go crazy because they love it and they want to spend 15 minutes playing around with it. So it's a great reward system, but we obviously want them to use it more for everything else. So there's event activations, there's sponsors, there's product demos. Birthday parties is a huge one. The potential is limitless, and we want to be able to communicate that. So the long term is building all these different niches, whether it's for tennis right now is a big sector we're focusing on, and football, two mainstream sports, one that's evolved quite a lot, another one that's lacking this evolution. And hopefully we're able to find the right partners. I think most importantly, the long-term goal is finding the right partners, such as big governmental bodies that can help us finance these projects and get us that exposure. I think once we have people with such titles that can help us back up the mission is when the true impact will come in. We're still at a booming stage, it's exponential, but we're nowhere near hitting peak. And we hope that hopefully we can change many more lives with these big stakeholders, big names helping us. So yeah, that's the long term.
That's fantastic, Quentin. I mean, I really love what I love the sort of vision that you have for multi-ball, and I've always been thinking about how tennis has this fan base where the average age is probably ranging from the mid 40s to the mid 50s. And now, if you want the sport to grow and encapsulate a wider audience, you really need to engage the younger generations. And multi-ball is something that has all the qualities that would be seen as attractive by the younger generation. So I think it's a great step forward, not just for tennis, but like you said, for all sorts of racket sports. And I also enjoy the fact that we're coming from a good place. It's not just about, like you said, not just about making the good people better. It's about getting everyone involved, everyone started to play with that thing, and try and get rid of the common problem of sedentary lifestyle that still plagues our society, right? So
We
I think
have,
that's really good. Yeah.
and a lot of this sedentary lifestyle is going to things like video gaming or just online things where we're just consuming, but we're not moving, we're not engaging in an active and physical way. So basically what we're trying to do is also steal this video gaming addiction from them and putting sports into it. And then when people finish a session with multi-ball, they're soaking sweat, but they didn't feel it because they were having so much fun. And that's something that nowhere else can be reproduced. So I'm glad you see the potential in it, and we want more people like you to join on board and share this this exponential vision.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I really think I'm personally really excited by what the future of tennis has in store, and I think I can I can clearly visualize multi-ball being at the forefront of the next. I mean the the futuristic revolution of tennis, and I'm excited to see what we have in store for us.
Amazing, man. Like you said, we want to be there and hopefully we'll be there. Obviously, it'll take a bit longer now with COVID in our back, but
Yeah.
hopefully this tells people that we need change and tennis needs to evolve. Viewership needs to increase. A sedentary lifestyle needs a solution, and hopefully we're able to offer all of that with multi-ball and whatever more products we have coming, as we're always looking to develop new projects. So yes.
I mean that's it, Quentin. I mean I have run out of questions to ask you.
Thank you. Thank you.